Welcome back to Rest Runes. Okay, we got the turquoise communication color on the board. We have yellow for the physical plane. You have to have sun to grow the crops. Emotional and mental, because of red is the heart and white. I laid down this tape to help us zone in on the spiritual plane. And in my black pouch, where the thunder beings come from on the west side of the mountains, we have the 24 runes. Okay, we are going to warm these up. We're going to read the elder runes first, the Germanic peoples, and then we're going to go to the younger. Now the younger has different alphabet insignias, but the messages are pretty much the same. Just not as many runes in the younger. The younger is actually the oldest rune. I know. Opposite. Okay. We're going to get them warmed up. I'm getting synced to the runes. They're getting synced to me. Glad you're here. Okay, ancestors, elders. What is the divine message tonight? What would you like us to know? Casting. Okay. You know the drill. If it's not face up where I can see the insignia, the alphabetic letter, the symbol, I put it in my bag. We have a lot of runes displaying tonight. Okay, ancestors have some good stuff for us tonight. Now what I will do is I will just kind of relatively put them into place, and I'll look at dynamics here in a little bit. Let's see, that's there, that's here. Oh, we have a message vertically. Cool. Oh, 2 messages vertically tonight. Wow, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runes. Let me grab my block here. Sorry about that. Let's move those runes off. Lots of messages tonight. We have 2 vertical runes of significance. And then we have, let's see if I can catch it to my hinge there. There we go. So we have all of these in a row on the physical plane. So out of the 8 runes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. So that's of significance. Then we have these 3 in a row down here. Pretty significant. There's 5 runes on that level too. So physical and spiritual are very balanced. And we have 3 on the emotional and mental plane. Okay, so let's go ahead and read the vertical messages. This is Anzus. This is Odin's rune. This is all about communication. So think wisdom, friendship, sharing what he learned about the runes with others. So here's a cautionary tale on this rune though. Beware of debts and temptations. So if you're not careful, you'll fall out of focus or order, and that could cause you some problems. Then that's radio. I always think of this as my red wagon. I'm going somewhere. Radio means travel, help, removal. It's basically physical movement, okay? And the cautionary tale on this rune is be careful that you're not blaming others for your life and what's going on in your life, because people just aren't going to put up with that, right? They're not going to put up with the crap. So that could lead you into separation. People are just going to ignore you. You can burn friendships that way by whining and complaining and not doing anything about it. Okay, here is Kinas. This is the torch. So think fire, education. You're looking for solutions, forgiveness, overcoming situations or misunderstandings. Sometimes this is the rune of justice as well. It's all about learning. Okay, and this is Gibo. This is all about sharing. So male and female energy are balanced here with the X. So we are looking at being generous, sharing, hospitality. I've said this numerous times. My German grandmother was very much about hospitality. And that was sort of a common practice with them and her family, is that you took care of others, you served others, because if you did not, that could one day lead you into poverty. When you need help, there's not going to be anyone showing up for you. So sharing and hospitality are very important. Here I said I was going to go vertically first, and I'm going horizontally, so sorry about that. I'm getting all excited for these on a row. This is Wanju. This is rune 8. So this is satisfaction. This is having achieved everything on this physical plane, rune 1 through 8. And so here you have basically arrived on the physical plane. You have been granted your wishes. You have career opportunities. There's joy, happiness, success. Okay. You have achieved this physical plane with much joy and happiness. The emotional and mental plane we will cover in just a bit. I want to go into the vertical message before I forget. Okay, so we have Odin's rune again. This is and Zeus. Okay, this is about communication and wisdom. And we need that sometimes for reaping the harvest. This is the Wheel of Fortune. You have completed the cycle. And if you're able to be careful with your monies and you're not in debt, then you will reap the harvest. Okay? This is Manus. This is serving your community. It's a lot of thinking with your mind, looking at legal processes, influences, kind of idealism in living, autonomy, okay? Could be meditation, all these things that you do to prosper the whole community and mankind. Okay, vertical message. So this was the vertical message on number 4. This is the vertical message on 7s. So Gibo is number 7. Again, this is hospitality and sharing. Sometimes we have to pray as part of our reach out and sharing with others, because we need to seek connection to Source, be shielded, be protected, watching out for misalignment, staying focused. This is Dagas, this is Day, this is new cycles, fortune, seeing the light. When you pray to the Source, other times you get that divine wisdom or the light to start a new way of living. Okay, now let's look at the emotional and mental realm. So this is something you cannot reverse. You have to go through it. And so actually we have a great emotional and mental plane tonight. So I would definitely want to go through this. This is Jera. This is the Wheel of Fortune and Harvest. This is connecting in with Source, being protected and shielded. because you are connected to Source. And this is Sun. This is Swahilo. This is self-mastery, self-control. You have victory over your passions. This is like the lightning rod or the soul. Okay. Now in the spiritual plane, we have 3 that are connected. And so this is very much a connected or divine message. We have motherly love. This is Burkana. This is femininity, growth, joy. You can think of it as the female tatas, but if you want to think of deep, intense love, sometimes we'll say brotherly love, but this is definitely motherly love because this rune back in the day signified mother's love. And back then, a mother's love was the greatest thing. There was no other. Okay. This rune is Iwas, so this is replicating horse, like with the ears. So this is about thinking with your heart, not just your mind. So sometimes we have to form boundaries. We have to watch out for our freedom. But this is connecting, being loyal, devoted, having friendship. And this is thinking with your mind. This is Manus. So this is again idealism, autonomy, influence, thinking for the community overall. So love, think with your heart and your mind when it comes to others. This rune is the hearth rune, so this is all about prosperity, luck. This is sort of like the cocoon rune where you're in that little triangle, protected. This is all about fertility, shelter, good investments, happiness. This is Dagus again. This is day. I think of this like the butterfly rune. So you're released out of your cocoon and then you get to see the light. This is new cycle, new fortune. All this other stuff's been thwarted. Anything that you would have had to go through. You're getting really close to the 24th rune. Okay, so that was the Germanic people's rune, the elder rune. Now let's take the ones off the board, off the planes, that do not belong into the younger set. This would be my family of origin with the Danes. They were the first Vikings, so this is more the Scandinavian rune set. Iceland too uses the younger. So let's take off Gibo, hospitality. Let's take off joy, that happiness from achieving it all on the physical plane. I don't think the Vikings ever felt that they had achieved it all. And then there's not praying to source with the antenna and protection. There is, Swahilo was there. They definitely love the sun to melt all that snow and ice and start a new life again for a new season. They did not have the horse rune. This is Iwas. They did not think with their minds. There was no boundary. They were definitely about freedom and community, trading and doing all of those things. There was no hearth, so there was not that creativity, that gestation in the cocoon, the hidden pleasures, the luxuries, none of that kind of thing. And they didn't believe in the new cycle of Dagus either. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They did not have, this message had 6 runes that we need to pull. The 16 younger did not have those runes, so now we will read it based on the runes that we have. So pretty balanced. We have 3, 2, 2. So the big message on this board would be the vertical. We have Odin's rune of wisdom, friendship, just beware of temptations, communicate, beware of engaging in debts that you can't pay off. If you keep your things in check, you have good communication, you have friendship, then you should be able to achieve this wheel of fortune and the harvest. Okay, it's completion of cycles. And you will then be able to worry about the community and being able to think for the whole group. Even though it's idealistic and there's some autonomy there, there's victory because you're thinking about the community overall. It was a way of surviving back in the day, sharing of resources and sharing and building things together. Okay, now we have three that are right by each other on the physical plane. So again, Odin's Anzus, communication, friendship, love, wisdom. Sometimes we had to be on the move. This is radio, travel, physical movement. Sometimes that meant separation from families when they would go out raiding or trading. Okay, you can't blame others for your life, otherwise they go say goodbye. So the lesson learned with the torch, Kinas, you're looking to find solutions and forgiveness. This is education, overcoming things, seeking justice. They love Swahilo, that melted that tundra, got the waters flowing again so they could go sailing and prosper on the physical plane. There was always motherly, brotherly love, so Burkano, motherly love. There was growth, there was joy. Children helped expand the group and their ability to do more. And of course, when you have more people, you have community, and you're able to get ahead and prosper, but you're always thinking the best for mankind overall to be able to have victory. So that is the message from the younger version. So you can see there's a big difference in concepts in how they would have seen the patterns because of the runes that they had or didn't have. So thanks for joining, and we'll talk again later. Have a great 11/11 day. Talk to y'all later. Bye.